I always get inspirational things in my email. And so I love, Loretta and I have a fondness for Gary Ryan Blair, right? And he's all about finishing strong and starting fast and all that kind of good stuff, right? So right now he's like in his finishing strong mode, and he is like blowing up our inboxes. And so one of the things I got from him the other day was, he said, one thing that high performers do differently than poor performers in the month of December, all right? Poor performers skate to the end of the year. Sure, they're still working, but they've kind of mentally checked out, right? They'll phone it in, and they'll just wait next year for that golden opportunity, right? And we all know those sort of people. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. There have been times that I'm that person. I'm just like, you know what? 2019 can go, and I'm moving forward. I'm done with this year, right? This wasn't one of those years for me personally, but I've definitely had those years that are like, we are done. I never want to hear or see you again. Go by whatever year you are. I'm moving forward. And at this point in the year, you're just kind of like, okay, I'm done. I'm tapped out. There's nothing more I can do this year, and I don't like it, and I'm going to just, wait till the beginning of the year. No, now is the time. Now is the time that you work your business. I don't care if you had a sucky year. Now's the time that you work your business, you finish strong, because by finishing strong, you're setting yourself up for success in that new year, right? So in that year, when I started 12 years ago, right, I very easily could have been like, you know what? Maybe this is a sign. Maybe I need to slow down. Maybe blah, 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 and give all these excuses, right? But I didn't, because you know what Tupperware said when everybody's just like, oh my God, everybody's heart was bleeding for Tupperware. I mean, all the people down at Hemingway, luckily nobody was hurt in this fire. There was nobody in the warehouse at the time. And so that is a gift. It's truly a gift. And so we're like, what can we do? And they're like, you can work. That's what you can do. That's what you can do for us right now. You can work your business. That's how we're all going to get past this. And that's the same way we're going to get past this past weekend, is all of us just business as usual, working our businesses, trying to hit those goals that we're trying to hit. So I could have very easily that year been like, oh, you know what? I've got my party stayed for January. I'll just log back in once they get this whole mess straightened out. This doesn't really affect me, right? But I didn't, right? I kept working my business. I kept continuing trying to date the parties. I kept continuing reaching out, trying to get one more sale, trying to get one more thing, one more recruit, right? So in that time period, it was right after Christmas, and I remember sitting there at Christmas just, thinking about like, what a crap year we had, right, in my life. It was a crap year. But I was like, wow, the last 2 months have been amazing. And it's because of this business, and I was feeling blessed, and for the first time, I was looking forward and seeing a light, a true light at the end of this awful tunnel. And I was just like, I was filled with hope. And I was filled with so many amazing things. And I remember thinking to myself, somebody out there needs this. Somebody just like me. Somebody who's not going to admit that they don't have $100 to start a business. But somebody just like me is sitting out there needing this business right now. And I'm like, so what am I going to do? So I crafted an email. This was before text, right? So I crafted an email. And I put together this email, and I was like, listen, if you want, because I'd heard Pam say, only for the last 2 months, okay? So now I've got 12 years of this under my belt, right? All of Pam's quotes are rolling in my head. If you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always gotten, right? And so that was in my head. I had 2 months of it, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to do what I've always done because I want to get more than what I've always gotten. So this is happening. So basically, that's what that email said. Do you want change? Do you want a change in your life? Is there something that you need? Is $100 standing in your way? Now, this was before we had co-pays and all these amazing programs that Tupperware has in place for us now. So you don't even have to do what I did back then, right? And so I crafted this email, and I was like, and I said, I was very honest. I said, I almost let $100 investment stand between my family and the money and the future we desperately needed. Now, if you don't have the faith that I have to take that leap of faith, let me help you. Date a party with me in January. I said, date a party with me in January, and I will, that party, you can take the commission of that party and use it to start your business. When you have a $400 party, you can use that $100 to start your business, and I'm going to get paid in Tupperware. Who's in? That's basically what the email said. And I got a reply. And so I got a reply because I didn't stop working, right? And you know who replied to me? Her name was Genie, right? And I met her at some sort of, I don't know, Italian festival or something that I'd worked with one of the many companies I had been with, right? And I got, because it was just kind of like, I'll just kind of send this out to everybody and see what happens, right? Because you just don't know at this point, right? So I send it out, and Genie sends a reply back to me, and I remembered her. She hosted a party for me, and she was super duper nice. And she said, Ellen, just yesterday, I was praying to God for an answer of what to do to make the ends meet this year. What I was going to do to make it different this year. And I got your email. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool, right? I was super excited. I was like, let's do a party. I'm so excited. You're going to be another. And I'm like all pumped up. And so she did a party, and she joined my team, right? That Genie, because I did not give up that year, and I kept finishing strong regardless of what the answers I was getting on the other line. That Genie is the Genie that helped me step up to director. She was the one that came through for me at the 0 hour, at 11:45, when I was sitting on my couch, feeling sorry for myself, because I needed 2 more active recruits, and I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't do this, we're missing it all. And back then, when you're in DIQ, you just start all the way back over at the beginning if you fill out. There was none of this like rolling months, right? So I was like, oh, my dad died, this is awful, my life sucks, I'm about to fall out of this program, and I was feeling really sorry for myself, and my phone rang. And she's like, hey, Ellen, I was at a scrapbooking thing. I just got your message. What's up? Can I help you? And I'm like, oh my God, Genie. I'm like, hey, remember your cousin and your sister? She goes, yeah. I said, do you think that they could put some orders in to get active? She goes, I don't know. I'll find out. They were just at the scrapbooking thing with me. And don't you know, they put those orders in. And we got those 2 people active. And it was so funny. It was literally midnight. And I'm like, refresh. And my husband's standing there, and he's just like, oh my gosh, and he's like, did we get it? And I'm like, yeah, I think we got it. He goes, I feel like fireworks or something should come out of your computer. This is so anticlimactic. He's like, did we get the trip to Disney? I'm like, yeah. He's like, did you become a director? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, how am I supposed to go to bed? But I wouldn't have been able to do all of those things if it hadn't been for that Genie, right? And if it hadn't been for me sending out one more email. And that was I've been making phone calls. I've been sending out private emails, just separate emails. This was my truly like throw, on the wall and see what sticks. And Genie stuck. And it's amazing, but that's what can happen when you don't give up. That's what can happen when you keep going forward. You can find your Genie, You could get one more order, one more party, because that's all it takes. It's the power of one more everything, one more party, one more contact, one more conversation, one more bowl sold. That's what it takes. And so that's what you can do when you finish strong and when you don't give up and when you don't close the door too early on a crap year. You can set yourself up for success for that following year. So right now, some of you have some stuff going on, right? Parties, you got vendor events, all kinds of good stuff. Maybe you have some things in the works. If you don't have anything like that, it is never too late to do an appreciation event at your house, invite people, and even if you have one person show up, it could be your Genie. You never know, so clean your house, get stuff together, invite people over, do those sort of things if you have nothing on your books. However, I will share with you, between now and like about a week and a half from now, like through next weekend, this is a sweet spot to date into January. And so as you're reaching out, inviting people to your event, so you have a reason to be calling them, inviting them to your event, invite them to date a party in January. Because right now, they're not too overwhelmed with Christmas. Now, you get too close to Christmas, they're like, oh, I can't even think straight, I can't. And I do it too. When I get overwhelmed, I shut down and I say no to everything, like literally everything. And so I get it. And so, but you need to do it now and act now. And that's when you're going to date your January. Many, many times, either this weekend or the next weekend coming up, those are the weekends. There was one time I think I dated something crazy, like 16 parties in one weekend because I just didn't give up. I just kept calling and calling and calling. I'm like, hey, how's it going? What do you got plans for the holiday? And I was like, how about January? We got some really cool stuff going on. And I don't go into details. I don't need to know the details. All they need to know is I have organizational tips and ideas, healthy cooking ideas, ways that they can eat healthier, food prep. That's what everybody wants. They want organization, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle changes in the new year. That's what they want. And so when you talk to them about those things, you're speaking their language. Because you know what they're saying? you know what? It doesn't matter. I've given up on this year. I'm going to eat all the food I want. I'm not going to organize the house till after the new year. They've given up on the year because they're not like us. They're not like us. They're not going to make those changes in advance. And if they are, then you really need to recruit them. Because they could be a champion just like us. But, now's the time to be going forward and dating those parties into January as you're reaching out to them, offering them one more opportunity to scoop up a great deal for somebody for a gift exchange or anything like that. I had somebody contact me from my website the other day, and she said, do you have anything for $20 that I could buy for a gift exchange that I wouldn't be embarrassed to give? That's literally her words, and I was like, yeah. I said, well, what are you looking for? And she goes, I don't know. All she said was Tupperware. And I was like, I got you. I was like, I got this. And I said, where do you work? And she told me, and I said, how about I stop by with a couple options for you? She said, that would be amazing. And today I talked to her, and she's amazing. She's such an amazing person. All I kept thinking as she was talking, I was like, we need you on our team. You are amazing. So maybe she's my next Genie. I don't know that. But I'm going to talk to her Thursday. Why? Because I didn't close my door. Because I'm still selling. I'm still making those phone calls and doing that. And this is your opportunity to do the same. Tupperware needs you. And we need you. And your family needs you. And you need you. You need to be proud of the work you put in this year and proud of the things that you're going to accomplish between now and the end of the year. Because we still have, 30 days. We still have almost 30 days. We got a lot to do, and we can do it together. All right, is it time for